My dear friend Ellen Delap is here with us today. Ellen is one of my NAPO colleagues here in Houston. Among her many accomplishments, Ellen is the past president of the National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals. That's NAPO, that's our professional association. You can find Ellen's business website at professional-organizer.com. She's been in business for more than 20 years and has been a great mentor and source of support to me throughout my organizing career. And one of the areas in which Ellen specializes is working with clients with ADHD. And that's why we invited her here today. Welcome, Ellen. How are you?
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm great. I'm super excited to be with you, Gayle. As you know, I too am a Clutter Fairy fanatic and fan of this podcast and live stream. So it's an honor to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, I love that you watch the show. That's great. Thank you so much, honey. We know that attention deficit disorders affect many of our viewers and listeners or their loved ones also. So we asked Ellen to come on the Clutter Fairy Weekly today to share information about an online symposium that's coming up on Saturday, March the 5th. It's called ADHD Across the Lifespan, and we think it could be fascinating and helpful to many people in our audience. So Ellen, would you please tell us about ADHD Across the Lifespan?
Well, first of all, I want to invite everyone from every community who has ever thought about that they have ADHD, they might have a family member that has ADHD, they have a colleague, someone that is a dear friend. So this is for everyone and anyone who just wants to learn more about ADHD. What our program is a virtual event. It's a bit of a pivot from our previous years in Houston. Previous years in February, we've had an in-person event. And this year, we want to be sure to share education about ADHD as we have every single year. So we have 5 amazing speakers, authors, and presenters that are going to share not only from when you might have thought of yourself as a person that has ADHD, like maybe you didn't know about this as a child. And then it's through people who currently have, are in relationships and might be thinking, wow, is my ADHD impacting that relationship? So I'm inviting everyone who has any interest in learning more about ADHD to be a part of our program on March 5th.
So what's the format about the class? How is it broken out?
So we actually have a series of events. It's 3 separate events, but of course you register for our entire symposium for the day. Not only are there speakers during presenters, but everyone's going to have the opportunity to ask questions and interact with our presenters as well.
Which is awesome. So I know that it's broken out into 3 different focuses for the day, so within 2-hour segments. So can you talk about that a little bit?
So our first segment will be about our younger set. Our middle segment is for students, and our older people are going to be addressed. And in terms of, we have 5 different presenters that are experts on each of their specific topics. But I really encourage everyone to attend the entire day. You register for the day, but you're going to learn so much, not only about strategies for people that you know and people that you are in relationships with, but just about yourself.
I think it's super important the last part of the day is about adults with ADHD, but listening to the discussions about what it was like as a child and then again as a teenager, I think would be really invaluable understanding of this explains my childhood. This explains what I was like as a teenager when I was in school and how I struggled and why I struggled. And also, anyone that has ADHD, there's a genetic component to it. And you know that if you have it, your kids may have it, your grandkids may have it. And so listening to a discussion about how that manifests at their ages, I think would be super important as the parent/grandparent in this situation to help you help them and help you coach them. And I think that would be really good information to have. And being in touch with these presenters, all of those people that are presenting are experts in their field. And I think they're going to have some really wonderful information to offer. So we've talked about the audience. What about the pricing for the event? Can you talk about that a little bit?
So we have two prices. We have a member price and a non-member price. We've tried to make it really affordable. The member price is $90. The non-member price is $110. Oh, and we actually have a student price as well for $50. You can register at ADDA-SR, that's Attention Deficit Disorder Association Southern Region.org. And we're really looking forward to just sharing the day. It's so empowering to be among people who are just learning more and just want to be able to support each other in the things that sometimes are easy, sometimes are hard.
Right.
So.
Or sometimes are inexplicable until you actually get a little education, explain what's going on. So the class is actually being hosted by this association you talked about, ADDA Southern Region. Can you tell us a little bit about the organization and the resources that they provide to the standard ADDA person?
So the ADDA-SR is really a grassroots association that supports everyone in our community with ADHD, whether they're a member or not. They offer free virtual support groups twice a month, which are also, you can find the links to them. By joining, we have a lot of additional information and discounts for our events. But what's really special about this is the broad base of support that it offers people in terms of educational resources, workplace productivity, therapy, schools for kids that are struggling. It's very, very broad. So it's a wonderful resource in our community, but it, throughout the southern half of our country. So it spans over to even Alabama. So
that's amazing. And truthfully, because you've shifted most of the presentations to virtual, it doesn't matter where you are. You can still get the benefit of participating in the class or joining the support groups because you have great access virtually. That's wonderful. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the class that's coming up?
I think it's just going to be exciting for all of us to join together again and learn together. So I'm just getting the information out to everyone. And for those of us who need continuing education credits, it's another opportunity for those as well, of all, coaches, counselors, certified professional organizers. So
yeah, and that's really why I want to take the class, because it does support my certificate with professional ed, and anybody else that's in that space where they need to collect continuing education to support their certification. This is a great class and that will do a lot. It'll be a good topic for you. Okay, so we'll post a link to ADHD Across the Lifespan in the description of this video, and we hope that some of you can attend. I'll be there with Ellen because I expect this to be a fascinating discussion that can help me work with my clients. Thank you, Ellen, for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Have a great day.
You too.